My name is Albert, and I'm excited to introduce you to the best podcast out there. It's Disney Conversation, the unofficial Disney World family vacation podcast. Say hello to Splash, Sparkles, and T-Bone.
Welcome to another Disney Conversation. Today is June the 1st, 2017, and we're glad you're here. Let's meet the crew. Who's with us today?
Hey guys, Splash here.
Hello, everybody. It's Sparkles.
Last but not least, T-Bone.
Welcome back, guys. Just so everyone will know, if you want to see a video version of this podcast, you can go to www.disneyconversation.com, or you can get the audio version if you're watching the video one from any podcasting app, including iTunes. Just search for the term Disney Conversation. Guys, are y'all ready for the news?
I believe so.
Let's go.
All right. Our first story today is actually about a competitor of Disney World and Disney, Harry Potter's. I guess the title of this article, actually from Christopher Pomari, is Harry Potter's Magic Helps Universal Parks Gain as Disney Slows. So this story has to do with attendance and stuff at the theme parks around the world. But mainly, it's about the victories Universal Studios in Florida and California have achieved by boosting their attendance by 7.4% in the last year. And it's mainly because of the powerful draw of Harry Potter and his attractions and worlds. Disney, on the other hand, has seen domestic attendance fall a little less than 1%. Does that surprise you guys? I mean, when we go to Florida and Walt Disney World, I've never been to Universal. Splash has, and Splash may be the only one. So Splash, why don't you weigh in and tell us, is it worth going to Universal and Disney when you're in Florida?
In my opinion, it's not. I would much rather go to Disney than Universal. The way Universal is in Florida, at least, I've only been to the one in Florida. There's two parks that are at the same location. So one park is more rides and attractions, and then the other park that's where Harry Potter is. You know, it's more theme oriented.
Immersive.
Yeah, I think overall, I think Disney would be a little bit more fun. Like Harry Potter World, it's really cool in the fact that it looks like Harry Potter and it's very well done. But there's not much to do there other than sightsee. There's only like one ride, and they've got, the train and stuff there, but it's really just for taking pictures. It's not as much of an attraction place. So, I would still choose Disney. Also, in the times that I've been there, the crowds are a lot smaller than at Disney World. So Universal is gaining people going there, but it doesn't come close to the amount of people that Disney's bringing in every day.
Well, just looking at the story is from a growth perspective. Universal Studios Hollywood, Universal Islands of Adventure, and Universal Studios of Florida are all between 5 and almost 15% increase year over year in their attendance. Magic Kingdom at Disney, just that one park, was down a little less than 1%. Hollywood Studios down about 1%. Epcot down a little over 1%. Animal Kingdom about the same, a little over 1% down. And Disneyland California was down almost 2% overall. The big loser in the list is SeaWorld, which has been just hit with awful news about the way they're treating animals and stuff. And they were down 8% in Florida year over year. So they're really suffering. Any plans, you guys, to go to Harry Potter? I haven't heard you talk about it.
You know, I think a Disney vacation would probably be preferred. Don't know about Sparkles over there, but
No, I'd probably still prefer Disney. Thank you. I've had a lot of friends go and they say they like it, but I'd prefer Disney just because from what I've heard and seen, Splash was right. It is more of a taking pictures and buying things. Like my friends that have gone there have came back saying they bought ones or they tried a butterbeer or stuff like that because they're buying a lot of stuff, but there's not much to do. I love Disney.
Yeah, in my opinion, the Harry Potter place was kind of stuffed in a back corner of the theme park. Like you have to go, it's on the opposite end of the front gate. Um, and it's just kind of back in a corner. I mean, there's not really a transition to it. It's just out of nowhere. It's the old style British buildings, and that's about it.
That's good marketing though, because then they have to walk through the entire park just to get to what they want.
Yeah.
good point.
Well, what about a hybrid? Would you want to spend days at Disney and a couple of days at Universal, or do you think you'd be wasting your time by missing out on Disney by going to Universal?
I feel like going to Universal, you could do a hybrid, but I'd rather spend, like if we're there for 5 days, I'd rather spend 4 out of the 5 days doing Disney stuff and then take like 1 day off to go see what they have and go through Harry Potter World. But that'd only be to me like a 1 day kind of thing.
Anybody else?
I think that pretty much sums up my opinion on it.
I guess now that I've done both, I think you should go to Universal at least once just to try it. But now that I've been there, and I've been there, 2 or 3 times, I would just rather go to Disney. I think Disney has more to do.
Yeah.
Because like at Universal, once you do all the few big rides that they have, there's not really anything else to do. You just kind of wander around. But with Disney, I feel like I've got something to do all the time. So,
Because at Disney, there's more than just a few main attractions. There's quite a few.
Right.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how this year turns out, being that Universal is seeing such a large jump in numbers, which obviously they're coming from a smaller base than Disney. But
right.
It'll be something we can follow. Our next story also includes Universal Studios in it. I guess to set this story up, let's think about Rock and Roller Coaster at Hollywood Studios.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys think just a minute. You know the queue. There's lines. You have a standby line. You've got the regular line, and we've spent some time in that line. And so you go through the queue, and you know how you go up and down and up and down and around. But when you finally get into the building, there is the room that they put you in where you can see some memorabilia, but you're still in the queue. You're walking through the line, and then you get to where the video is. You guys remember where the guys are standing outside the limo?
Yeah.
And the video about how they've got to go, but come on, let's bring everybody. And then you go into the next queue, which is there where you can see the roller coaster. Y'all follow me, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, Universal Studios just opened Race Through New York, starring Jimmy Fallon. And it was on the news a lot. And that ride is very unique in that there is no queue where you're standing in the line going through the raceway. Does that make sense?
So there's not a line.
There's not a line. So this is what happens. You go and you sign up kind of like a fast pass where you have a general time where you go in to the ride area. But once you get there and your time is right, you go into an upstairs area, which looks like a recreation of 30 Rock. You remember the show 30 Rock? and the building, of course, where NBC Studios and stuff is. So
Right.
you go into that and you get to just kind of wander around. They give you a place card with a color on it. You get to go look at all the displays. You get to be in an air conditioned room, kind of like, I want to say like a museum created much like 30 Rock. And then when the lights change to your color on your ticket, that alerts you to make your way to another area upstairs where then you're entertained with live performances. There's a barbershop quartet, much like what's on Jimmy Fallon at night. You get screens showing Jimmy's monologue, some highlights from the show. You get a history of rap, a lip sync battle. You also get to go through and do some desks where you get to go through thank you notes and some different Fallon video games. But the main thing is you're not stuck in a line where you're following people through a queue. You're kind of being entertained as part of the ride. So that was kind of long, but now that you kind of think of that, comparing it to Rock and Roller Coaster, which has a definite queue where you're following the people in front of you through the turnstiles and all that stuff. Does this sound promising? I mean, would you rather go into something like this, or would you rather stay in line? What's better?
Well, it's an obvious you would rather do what they're doing with this new ride. Because I know just standing in a line when it's hot outside is not the most ideal way to wait for a roller coaster. But anyways, Sparkles, I saw you were getting ready to speak.
Oh, you're good. I was just thinking that it's a really good idea. I like it, but that might take away the whole waiting line atmosphere, because last time we went, we met some really cool people in that line. And
but we still had to wait in line.
But they were
got you there.
Yeah, but they were cool people, so I really like the way they're doing it like that. But then we probably wouldn't have met those people if it were something like that. So win some, lose some.
Well, but you can still meet people like this.
Yeah.
But what this is doing is turning it into a fast pass only ride.
I mean, yeah, but it's not.
So it's going to be much harder, I think, to get on this than it would be Rock and Roller Coaster.
Because let's go back. For some reason, Sparkles is muting her computer. What did you say, Sparkles, just a minute ago?
Shoot. It's probably like about forced interaction.
I think we lost you again. Try it one more time.
It's not forced interaction with people, which we wouldn't have talked to that family if we weren't forced to stand in a line with them for a long time.
Good point. Good point.
I don't know. I just think if you're going to do a ride like this, it basically is just for fast passes. So if you don't get a fast pass, you can't get on the ride. You know, so there's been a few times where we did the Rock and Roller Coaster with a fast pass, and it was later in the evening, and the wait line was a little shorter, and so we just waited in line and rode it again. But with this kind of a ride, you probably wouldn't get that, because once you use your fast pass, I'm sure the rest of them will be booked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
That's a one-time only thing, unlike the lines where you could maybe get in it again.
Looks like we're going to have to do some more research, because it doesn't say anything in the story about a standby line. But, you know, based on some of the standby lines that we've seen before, and we're going to talk about this more in just a minute too, standby lines can be really long.
Yeah.
Well, the new Flight of Passage there at Pandora is a prime example of that.
300-something minutes.
Well, let's just jump to that next story, because that's what we were going to talk about next.
Oh.
You know, we have Pandora that just opened up, and also in California, Disney's Guardians of the Galaxy ride just opened up too. Both of them had waits from 5 to 7 hours at some point. So is any ride worth standing in line for over 5 hours?
No.
Actually,
Sparkles, if you say yes,
I think yes, because if you really, really, really love Guardians of the Galaxy, you would want to wait in that, and especially if it's a one-time trip for somebody. See, we are lucky enough to have had the opportunity to get to go to Disney multiple times, and I'm really thankful for that. But some people only get one time in their whole life to go, and so if they really want to do something and this is their only chance to do it, people are gonna wait.
Yes, but if this is your only time to go, why waste the whole day for one ride when you can do everything else?
It's the biggest new ride.
Right,
still,
but
you think you
you're
could do
wasting. Think about how much you can do at Disney World in 7 hours.
or even 5?
Exactly. I would much rather go experience everything else than stand in a wait line for
How
7
many
hours.
rides? How many times could you ride Tower of Terror?
You can go through the entire queue for Rock and Roller Coaster more than once in that amount of time.
More than twice.
Okay, I'm just saying, what if this is in the evening and they've already done everything?
Well, if it's the evening, you've
You're
already
not
done
gonna.
everything. You're not going to have 5 hours.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You didn't do everything. If you still have 5 hours.
Come on, I'm just trying here, man.
Okay, well, let's see if we can tie this together. So, are we in agreement that queues are a thing of the past, and it would be much nicer to have entertainment while you're waiting to get into the actual ride? Do we all agree on that?
Yeah.
I think it's nice, but I like on the Rock and Roller Coaster when you have a fast pass, you still stand in line, but it's only like maybe 20 minutes if there's a bunch of people there. But with the entertainment, you're still getting shuffled around, and you don't get to get right on the ride. You still have to go through everything else. So if this is something that you're going to ride multiple times in one day, you're still looking at the same things. So I'd much rather just stand in line for a few minutes and then just get straight on the ride. But that's just me.
That's a good point.
I
Anybody else
I
have
was
something
gonna
to
say
add?
they could do something to where they kept the fast pass as just a normal queue line because it is a lot short of a line, and then they make the really, really long lines something with entertainment.
That could work.
Okay.
We'll just have to see.
All right. On the second question, do you wait more than 5 hours for a ride anytime? Let's just get a quick vote.
No.
Who says yes, you do wait? No, you don't.
I say yes. If it's really worth it and a good ride, then why not?
Okay, then here's what we're going to do.
We're going to have
Allie
you.
is going to stand in line for us at Flight of Passage while we go do other things for 7 hours, and then we'll come back and get in line with her.
I'm not letting you cut. I waited. I could meet people. I can be social.
7 hours. You say I'd be fine with that until we put you in that line.
Allie, can you go 7 hours without eating? Because you can't do anything for 7 hours.
Can't take food in the line.
No.
Good.
No.
I know how to sneak food.
Okay, well then you're breaking rules.
Okay.
I don't
So I guess-
know. I think y'all are wrong about that, but we'll let Sparkles have the last word on that one. She said yes.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, our next story. Speaking of food, you're talking about food in the line. California Disneyland has a new Baby Groot bread. It's fashioned just like Baby Groot. It's a sourdough bread shape, pint size superhero with black olives for eyes, jalapeno cheese for hair, and then and bark. And it's a big hit at Disney California Adventure. What do you think about Baby Groot bread?
I think it looks delicious.
I think it's adorable.
How much does it cost? Have we seen that yet?
I don't think it said. So
No.
regardless of cost, do you hope that it comes to Disney World by the time we get there?
Hopefully.
Yeah, why not? I'd try it.
I mean, looking at this thing, I would pick that over a pretzel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just because I think it looks cool.
You could walk around like this man is doing and use it as a mask.
All right, so I guess we'll hopefully see a new attraction in Florida with Baby Groot.
You know,
That's
that's
probably-
something that would go good with a Dole Whip.
You are correct.
All
Yeah.
right, our next story has to do with Disney Florida, and this is kind of weird actually. A Disney employee was arrested and charged with falsely impersonating a law enforcement officer this past weekend on iDrive in Orlando. According to WESH.com, 26-year-old Brett Smith reportedly saw a woman drive through a series of cones near SeaWorld when he decided to use a Department of Homeland Security badge that he got for Halloween to pull her over. A sheriff's deputy happened to be stationed nearby and saw the whole incident happen, and he pulled up to the scene to intervene. Are you surprised that a Disney employee would do this, and does it scare you at all to be out and about in Orlando with people doing things like this?
I don't know that it scares me. That's a little interesting, but I don't know that would be a common occurrence. I think that's just somebody trying to be sort of a hero in a sense.
Yeah.
I'm curious how he got her to pull over. I guess he just held his badge out the window.
Ma'am, please stop.
And then he hit the ball. How would she?
I guess-
That's true. How would she know to pull over?
Maybe he got those $10 red and blue flashing lights at Walmart.
Stuck it on the top of his car while he was driving.
I do think this is interesting because when we experience cast members in the park, they're all very well-mannered, very courteous, and there to serve you. So, I guess it's a little interesting to see what they do outside of work hours.
I'm not at work anymore. I can get you guys.
This is a great learning opportunity for all of us in that if just because someone's got a badge out the window or however he decided to do that, should you pull over for somebody that doesn't have a marked car? And let me just ask you three guys, what do you do instead of pulling over in case someone's doing that?
I actually have heard about this. I think there's a way. I think you just call 911 or something like that, and you can ask, "Is there a police officer in this area? Do you know if someone's here? I don't know if this is a real policeman or not," and they can tell you. And if they're not, then they'll send the police to you.
I think you're exactly right, Sparkles. I think that would be the thing to do, would be to call the police and tell them what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, this guy, he's a Disney employee, but I think that's probably irrelevant. Someone trying to pull you over like that probably doesn't have your best interest in mind.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right. I don't think the fact that he's a Disney employee really changes anything. I mean, he could work anywhere and still do that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's just you don't really, when you think of a Disney cast member, you don't think of something negative. But
Yeah.
I mean, they're still human too. So
So
You
be
know.
very careful anytime somebody not in a marked car is trying to pull you over. I would be very, very skeptical of that. For
Mhm.
sure.
I was going to say, I don't know why, but it's kind of funny to me that he didn't know this woman was about to do it, but he just kept his badge with him from Halloween. He just had it. He was like, "Oh, I have my badge right here. Let me just."
Of course, he's breaking the law when he does that. So, and to have those red and blue lights, that's really breaking the law when you're impersonating a police officer at that point.
I don't know what he was expecting to do once she pulled over,
Like,
So,
but
you were speeding?
plastic badge says enough. You need to get out of the car.
Get out of the car, ma'am.
write a ticket on a napkin or something, I guess.
Well, if
Here's your
anybody's
ticket.
listening to this and ever has someone try to pull them over like that, be sure to call 911 and ask them if there is an actual police officer in the area trying to do that, and give a description of the car for sure.
Mhm.
Here's a
Absolutely.
ticket. Here's a ticket for $1 bazillion.
I need it by tomorrow.
All right, here's another kind of similar question, I guess. Our last story today is about a company called Mouse Mingle, and it's a dating app that helps Disney fans try to find love. So mousemingle.com, they know all too well the struggles of Disney lovers trying to find their Prince Charming or princess. So in a sea of singles who don't have the same appreciation for Disney, this is a place that will try to link you to people that have your same Disney interests and try to help you find magic in your relationship. So in a world of all these dating apps like Bumble and Tinder and all these things, would you guys ever see yourself using Mouse Mingle?
No. Me personally, no.
Why? Why is that?
Go ahead, Splash.
I wouldn't use a dating app anyway, I don't think.
Whenever I think of this, I think of farmersonly.com and stuff. Like,
You don't have to be lonely at farmersonly.com.
That's really interesting, though. I mean, I've never really thought about specifically. It's got to be Disney.
I know,
You know?
but I can't date you if you don't like Disney. I'm sorry.
You find the one guy, I love Universal. He gets banned from the site.
No.
Gets reported.
But you know, I would imagine that there's a lot of people that will use this.
Yeah.
Disney.
I think the target of people that it's looking for is going to be very distinct. So, you know, maybe if you're gonna use this, you're not going to have such a wide variety of people.
Yeah, on apps like Tinder, you have a really diverse user base. And
Mhm.
on Disney, it's just kind of everybody loves the mouse.
Well, it is an interest. So would you consider Disney a hobby right now for you guys?
Yeah, sure.
I definitely would say it has turned into a hobby.
Mhm.
It hasn't been up until a few years ago when we really started getting serious about it. But
Yeah.
I think for all of us, I think we all together put in a lot of effort for our Disney vacations now.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I would definitely say this has become a hobby.
So could you date or marry somebody that hates Walt Disney?
I'm just saying now, if my honeymoon is in Disney World, we're
Uh,
done.
What-
Do it.
What is it, the Grand Floridian that has the pavilion that you can get married with the castle in the background?
That's the only place it will be.
See, I don't know that I could, because I fully intend on continuing to go to Disney for many, many years. And so if they don't like Disney, it's just not going to work.
Well, big shout out to your Aunt Debbie and Uncle John, who actually went to Disneyland for their honeymoon. Is that something you guys would like to do too? To go a honeymoon at Disney?
Heck yes.
I would want it to be a Disney cruise.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Ice
Got to be
cream.
fancy.
all
Exactly. Just for the
day.
all-you-can-eat ice cream
Ice cream.
on the deck.
Your honeymoon's going to be based around all you can eat ice cream. Did I just get that right?
If you're gonna go do
Well,
something,
when you put it that way, but you know, I got to have some priorities.
Sir, it's 3 a.m. Get away from the ice cream machine.
it's
No. I thought it was all you can eat.
I paid for this.
Not all you can eat until 3:30.
Well, I think it's probably safe to say that Splash has just now scared away any girl who ever would even consider marrying him based on this all-you-can-eat ice cream requirement.
Unless
Well, maybe they'll like ice cream too.
I like ice
That's two
cream.
things in common.
You like ice cream. Let's go to Disney.
Well, I don't think we can add anything else to this podcast after getting the all-you-can-eat honeymoon ice cream requirements.
What else
Guys,
could you
thank
want?
you for coming back today. I know last week I promised you a quadruple pay increase. It did not come in. You guys are going to have to settle for triple only. Sorry about that.
Does it come with ice cream?
No ice cream. And so we're going to double your pay, or triple your pay from last week. So congratulations on that. And I also want to remind everybody that if you want to see a video version of this podcast, don't forget to head over to www.disneyconversation.com. You can hit all the past videos there as well as this episode, or you can use whatever podcast app that you enjoy the most to search for Disney Conversation to get the audio versions. Guys, it's been another great week, and I've enjoyed talking about Disney with you. Hope y'all have a good rest of the week.
You too. It's always a pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, you guys take care. We'll see you later.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.